guys, it's Clara. Today I'd like to show you how I organize my purse with all Dollar Tree items. This purse organization video is also kind of like a what's in my purse video, so I'll also show you some non-organizational items that I bought from the Dollar Tree. The purse I'm currently using does not have any dividers in it, and it doesn't have a ton of pockets either. It just has these two little pockets on the side here and then a zipper pouch on the side here. So the system that I've been using has been the kind that sections things off via smaller pouches and bags. I know that they sell, like on Etsy and Amazon, inserts that you could put within your purse that have pockets there, and they kind of have dividers within it. Those typically cost maybe $20 to $30, and there's nothing wrong with buying something like that, but I'm just not prepared to spend that amount of money on this kind of thing. Maybe someday I will, but right now I'm pretty satisfied with the system I came up with. So the system I have has been in place for about a year. The way I have it set up is almost like a file system, and I know that seems odd, but to be honest with you, I like to be able to see as much stuff in my purse as possible. So I like having the ability to store things in flat kinds of pouches like this so that I can see everything and they're easy to pull out. So I have those larger ones in the center here, and then the cosmetic pouch, my wallet. Down the side I have some smaller pouches. So the first pouch I pulled out, this is one of those clear snap folders that the Dollar Tree has been selling lately. These are great. This plastic is relatively thicker than I would expect. The snap does work very well, and this appears to be very durable. This is where I keep Kleenexes. These are antibacterial hand wipes. I like to keep the tissues and wipes in one pouch. That way, that's the only thing I'm looking for there, and they don't get mixed up with tinier kinds of things because smaller things can get caught in that little flap there. The next envelope is this one here. Now this might seem kind of odd because it looks like there's nothing in here, but what this one is part of my outgoing system. So my biggest problem in the past has been all these little itty bitty pieces of paper like this Post-it or a receipt, and they would just kind of get lost in the pouches and get crumpled up and become these little crumpled up pieces of trash. And I wish I had some sort of outgoing system for trash, for things that I don't need in my purse anymore, any lipsticks I want to exchange. So that's what this is. This is probably the newest addition to my purse. I love having an outgoing system. That way all that stuff is collected in one. So, you know, if there are any chapsticks I want to revolve, or if I happen to be wearing a necklace that day that I take off while I'm outside the house, I put all of that stuff in this pouch, because anything that's in this pouch is going to be outgoing from my purse. Rather than having all those things kind of scattered within the bag and kind of get lost at the bottom, everything is just collected in this. So that way, when I go to clean my purse, all I need to do is take out the outgoing pouch and I'm set to go. I don't need to search throughout the entire purse for lost receipts or little pieces of paper, that kind of thing. And if you'll notice, I also put a plastic bag in here. Typically when this is empty, all it is just this plastic bag. And the reason for that is, let's say I'm out and about and I use one of the wipes, but I don't have a trash nearby. If it's something wet, it can go inside the plastic bag and within this pouch. That way, if there's anything in here that needs to be kept or filed, it doesn't get wet from that wipe. Another thing I put in here are any other pieces of paper that might need to be filed. So like when we do our donations to the Salvation Army and we get a receipt for tax purposes, I put those in here. You know, any receipts that I want to keep to file later from other stores. Nowadays at our doctor's office, we get papers, and that kind of stuff has personal information on it, you know, ID information, and I just don't want to throw that away anywhere, you know. So those will also go in here so that I can shred them at home or so that I can file them. The third pouch, this is kind of a collect-all for a lot of smaller types of items, and this is why, in particular, I adore these pouches, because they're relatively durable and they are transparent. So you'll notice here I have some pens. I like having these kinds of pens in my purse where they have the different kinds of colors, because if my daughter and I are in the waiting room, or we're waiting in a doctor's office, or in the medical room, we're waiting to be seen, she uses this to draw, and it's fun to have some different colors. Sometimes crayons just won't do and kids want to use pens, so this works really well for us. I have a pencil here, there is some eyeliner. I also have a safety pin, some nail care items if I chip a nail. There is a little nail cutter and a file with the pick end at the end of it if I get anything under my nails. And there's also a set of tweezers. The nail stuff I kind of just keep rubber banded together. Plus, if I need the rubber band and I'm out and about, it's nice to have that there too. Then I also have a hairband, just in case, and then a couple of bobby pins that are laced into the hairband to keep them together. And then there's also this little spray bottle of Juicy Couture perfume, and then a little packet of medications. You know, there's some Benadryl for allergies, there's a couple packets of Motrin, and then there's a thing of Tums. At the back here, I have in a little plastic bag right here, there is a bite guard that is from the Dollar Tree called Plackers. And I have that in my purse because every now and again, if I'm out and about and I don't have my bite guard that was from the dentist's office and I'm feeling stressed out or whatever, I can just slip that in, and it reminds me not to grind my teeth. If you'll notice, those were all different colors. I had the blue, the green, and the pink. They also have these pouches in black, and they sell them in 2 packs at the Dollar Tree. Another item I use from the Dollar Tree is this Gola bag, and this is the pink wallet version. I use this for gym items. So this has all my cards for the gym. It also has some headphones that I use when I'm on the treadmill or on the elliptical. And sometimes I'll put in here one of those hair bands to keep my hair back, but if you've seen my car organizing video, you know that I keep those in my car anyway, so I don't need to keep it in here. And then sometimes I'll put in this pouch back here some bobby pins and hair elastics, but I could also slip my keys in here as well. This is another Dollar Tree item I use to organize. This is one of those makeup pouches. This comes usually in a pack of 2 with a smaller pouch, and it has a pink ribbon tying them together. This I also use for a gym item. So this carries my heart rate monitor. This is something that you wear around your chest, and it just measures your heart rate and the calories burned, that kind of thing. The reason I really like this bag is because it's fairly water resistant. Plus, for stuff like this that I'm sweating in, I obviously would want to keep this apart from everything else in the bag. Of all the problems that I had with my purse before, besides the paper problem, you know, the receipts, etc., this was the next problem, because this thing would just go everywhere, and it's long. So whenever I'd pull it out of my bag, all of this stuff would come out with it, and it was just a pain. So having it tucked into a pouch like this is just perfect, because it's more sanitary, it doesn't interfere with any other items in the purse, and it's so easy to use. I just zip it up nicely. The zipper works really well. And again, it's not too wide so that when I sit it in the corner of my purse, it doesn't interfere with the zipper. Another Dollar Tree item I have for organization is this notebook. Now, I know it seems very simple, but there are several reasons why I love this notebook. The thing that keeps this the best is this elastic here. I carry my daughter's medication lists around. I have receipts for her medications so that if I'm out and about and I want to call in a medication refill, I have that right in here. And to keep all those in the purse, even if they were as like file folders, they still would get lost and crumpled. So keeping them tucked in a notebook nice and neatly like this is just perfect and works out so well for me. Now, if this notebook did not have this elastic, this system would not work at all, because all those pieces of paper would start falling out. I also love that it has this bit of ribbon here. I take notes at our doctor's visits, so they all go in here and they stay together very nicely. I also use this notebook if I'm out and about and I see somebody and we're exchanging some information, contact information, and I don't want to put it in my phone. You know, I'll just let the person write it in here. The other reason why is because of the size. In the picture I had shown you before, all these plastic envelopes are kind of in a row like a file. And this notebook stays right at the side and it just fits perfectly within the bag. It's not too tall and it doesn't interfere with the zipper. Another item that I have is this coupon organizer. Now this is actually from the dollar spot at Target, but you probably know if you shop at the Dollar Tree that the Dollar Tree has these coupon organizers. And so I will go into the categories in a different video, but you know, it just has my store specific coupons and it has all the grocery items and then also coupons that are just for baby or for the dog or for mom and dad, you know, stuff like Banana Republic coupons or Old Navy, Kohl's, Toys R Us, that kind of a thing. And this works out really well for us too because this fits at the side in the purse alongside, so it sits nicely in the corner there. Again, it's not too wide so that when it stands up, it doesn't hit the zipper, which is really nice. This is not from the Dollar Tree, but I do have quite a bit of Dollar Tree items in here. One cream I really like is this Utterly Smooth Hand Cream. It's not too perfumey. It's a great cream in the wintertime. And I love it because it's not too small. I used to have those really small antibacterial lotions from the Dollar Tree. They come in a 3-pack, but those were so small and there weren't enough lotion. This is a great amount to have, and I don't need to be changing it out all the time. I also really prefer lotions that have a screw top because the lotions that have flip tops, they tend to pop open in my purse and then cause a big disaster. But just in case this does leak or something, I have a pouch that is fairly water resistant, so I keep some of the items that would make a particularly big mess in this pouch. And then kind of tied into this zipper is one of the sanitizer holders from the Dollar Tree. This is the owl version. In here is one of the pocket bags from Bath and Body Works. Let's see. I also have some liquid powder makeup. I also have some Skinny Girl plumping lip gloss that I got from the Dollar Tree. Also some regular powder. This is Milani. And some lipstick, just a darker color that I have for fall. And I also have, this is my favorite lip tint of all time. This is the C.O. Bigelow Mentha lip tints from Bath and Body Works. These have a mint taste, so if you don't like mint, they're definitely not for you, but these are great. They offer just enough tint to have a bit of color on your lips, and they make your breath smell good because of the mint. I also have this little sample from Clinique. I like to have sample sizes in my purse because they're nice and tiny. This is a Repair Wear Intensive Eye Cream. I will use this for dry areas like around my lips too, on my neck. And again, it is a screw top, which I prefer. This is from the Dollar Tree as well. This is one of the newer LA Colors lipsticks in mauve glaze, a bit of a more natural kind of a color for fall. And lastly, in this makeup bag, I have one of the Listerine pocket mists that you spray for fresh breath. Another item I use for organizing is this Gala bag. It's one of the slim ones, and this fits nicely in one of the smaller pockets at the side of my purse. In here, I put some business cards. I put cards that have contact information from our medical offices and other smaller types of cards. Oh, and I also have my phone. Now, this looks like one of the newer phone cases, but I actually bought this around Christmas. I had this in a previous haul back in January, and I will tell you from firsthand experience, I adore these glitter cases. They also have cases recently that have the chevron pattern, which are really cute, but for some reason at my Dollar Tree, all of those seem to look like the edges were peeling off. This, I will tell you, is an amazing case. It hasn't cracked. It has kept up all this time. It's been, what, 10 months? And none of the glitter has come off. It's just still so sparkly and cute. And I still get compliments. So love this case. If you like any of the glitter cases and you're not sure about them, pick them up. And here, oh, a little pack of crayons for my daughter. We have sunglasses from the Dollar Tree. These have held up really well in my bag. Of course, we have some keys. At the side of my bag, I have just a few alcohol wipes for emergencies. I also have a prayer card that I keep at the side of my purse. And lastly, I also have my wallet. And that is everything in my purse. So aside from the cosmetic items and the phone case, the stuff that I used to organize my purse that was from the Dollar Tree are these 2 Gola bags, a cosmetic pouch, the journal with the elastic to keep papers kept together, the Owl sanitizer holder to keep the sanitizer somewhere where I can easily find it and reach it in a hurry, and also the clear snap enclosures. And that is everything. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And thank you so much for watching. Take care.